А в нашем контенте пока этого вроде нет.
Да и на твоем канале тоже пока этого нет.
А так обнови.
Так я обновил.
Так обновляй еще раз.
Бесконечно обновил.
Да.
Да. О, появилось. А, нет, появилось. И гельш по скрафту.
Смотришь, Киря?
Смотрю. Какая-то задержка.
А, да никакая вроде. У меня еще заебись. Молимся. Смотришь, видишь?
Ну, задержку.
О, легендарка, нихуя себе! И что это будет? А ну-ка. А ну-ка, Амогус. Да нахуй мне нет гон! А яка, серьезно?
Тебе яка выпала?
С первых 10 круток, блять. Я еба.
Неплохо, слушай.
Просто какой-то Амогус, блять. Ты смотри, Киря, ты видишь, что мне дропнулось?
Да, я замьючу тебя, блядь, замьючу. Все, отлично.
Пиздец, ёбаный шашлык, я
Чё,
еба.
она криво? Ну-ка иди тест.
Охуеть.
Блядь, она только вышла, ты его уже выбила, ебануться.
Да. Так, где?
Whatever's going on over there looks.
Так. Амогус.
Амогус.
A pleasure to be working with you.
О, она как мона.
My apologies.
О, и способности, ну-ка способности.
Ща.
Так, не, делаешь больно. Таня. Прикольно выглядит. Таня.
Сейчас, Киря, способки тебе покажу.
Какая у нее книжка или что?
У нее меч.
Меч? Одноручный?
Да? Если можешь, еще меч, кстати, буду убивать сейчас. А, кстати, надо будет меч на нее напялить какой-нибудь. Я даже знаю какой. Так. Бу-бу-бу-бу-бу. Есть свободный меч флейта и есть меч фавония. Полезно. Полезно. Пока ее за нем. Так.
Windblade. Incoming. Much remains unfinished. Speed of light.
Круто. Кстати, Киря. Да, хуй его знает. Ну, пойдем проверим. Так. Ну, а где глубоко? Да, может. Чекай, Киря. Блять, ну типа она делает как стяжку. Да, мне тебе проще, знаешь, как показать? Через тестовый забег. Так будет проще.
Блять, там же тестовый забег есть точно.
Да. Сейчас тебе покажу. Амогус.
Самурай,
Да.
Самурай.
Somebody. Так, чекаешь?
Take flight.
Блять. Ну, похуй.
Out of the frying pan, into the...
Так, чекай.
Embrace the ice.
Вот видишь, она типа, ну, как стяжку делает и пиздит. А, ты типа не
My
видишь, похуй.
apologies.
Похуй.
Sakura swirl. Whirling snow. Embrace the ice.
Кстати. Так, ну меч ее, понятное дело, накрит урон. И артефакт. Это заблудшие метели надо. Максимальный хп, сила атаки, защита. Как это так? И таланты нужно качать такие вот, типа, 2 первые на 8. Блять, сейчас депортирую их, подожди. Секунду.
228, да, Кира, именно так.
Мак, депортируйся в лог, Дани.
А,
Все, супер. Так. Да, вот, короче, смотри. Так, качаешь первые 2 самое. Да-да-да.
там 8, то есть первое меч, ну, владение мечом.
Да.
Ешка ее, ешка. Это по-любому.
Да.
Способность называется.
Короче, я сейчас, наверное, буду еще раз крутить, кстати, знаешь, 2 раза, наверное, еще покручу. Типа, ну, точнее, 2 раза по 10. Может, выпадет C1 хотя бы, плюс-минус. Либо Чунь-Юнь дропнется. Вот. А потом, хуй знает. Так, я крутил в Манштате. Туда и вернемся, пожалуй. То просто все в храмах крутят, блять. Еще где-нибудь. Я хочу крутить в Манштате просто. На улице стоять. Потому что реально, типа, ну, хорошо докупало мне. Блять,
У меня, кстати, по-моему, 40 прокрутов стоит.
у меня нет.
У меня 30 прокрутов до легендарки.
Так, идем на то же место.
Что я успею, я либо на следующего планирую выиграть, либо, если уложиться в сроки, то и на это успею.
Так, готовься смотреть, еще 10 круток будет. Потом оружие буду крутить. Молимся. И шо? Фиолка. Ну, либо Чунь-Юнь, либо хуй.
Мне, сука, не спойлери.
Блять, понимаю. Ну, сейчас увидишь. И еще разочек. Сука. И еще разок крутанем. По 10 раз. И шо там? Так, а ну-ка. Да я ебал, а? Ну, блять. Не то, что я хотел. Теперь оружие будем крутить. 10 раз. И... Еще разок крутим. Так. Хуйня. Такой же. Это же я тебе рассказываю, что путь воплощения. Путь воплощения — это механика, включенная в текущий цикл молитвы. Воплощение божества. После установки курса на желаемое оружие, если вы получили оружие 5-звездочное, которое не соответствует вашему выбору, вы получаете 1 очко судьбы. Когда вы наберете достаточно очков судьбы, ваше следующее оружие 5-звездочное будет тем, что вы выбрали с помощью пути воплощения. После получения оружия пути воплощения, короче, тебе дают выбор из 2 оружий легендарных. Ты выбираешь одно, которое ты хочешь, но ты его сначала не получишь. Вот. Блять, проблема в том, что у меня осталось всего 1113 примагемов, что меня очень сильно печалит. Надо будет сейчас еще... Ну, и чё, блять, я хочу еще, мне мало. Ну, до этого я особо не крутил-то, это, по-моему, не по гаранту. Я сейчас крутану еще, кстати, обычные самые. Нет, сначала оружие крутану, пожалуй. Да. И оружие не так вообще часто кручу, если честно. Я тогда вряд ли получил бояку. О, фиолка опять с оружия падает. Копье... Да нахуй мне копье фавония. Вообще уже пихает. Хуета. И теперь крутим жажду странствий по приколу. Нихуя. Подожди. Око сознания, блядь. Блядь, чтоб я знал, чем проебал почти все, блядь. Я не то чтобы хотел до хера Яку, я хотел хотя бы Чундюня, я не знаю. Было бы неплохо. Типа, а в итоге получила Яку. Давай, Кирилл. Это был Кирилл. Он немножко Кирилл. Исторический момент, я прокрутил Аяку, выбил Аяку с первого раза, с первых 10 круток, если быть точнее. Это неплохо. Я могу сейчас, в принципе, потратить еще камни истока на то, чтобы прокрутить еще 6 раз. Почему бы и нет, собственно говоря. Вот, потому что это было бы неплохо, мне кажется. Вот, еще 6 раз крутануть. Либо не тратить примагемы, оставить их, как бы, да, но Юмия выбить еще не скоро. Я успею выбить ее, в конце концов. То есть сколько будет этот баннер? 20 дней еще. 20 дней я успею накопить до жопы примагемов, чтобы выбить фиолку. То есть, ну, как бы, сами понимаете. Поэтому в таком случае я трачу все примагемы сейчас на вот эти вот крутки. Плюс, я не знаю, можно, конечно, менять звездный блеск на это все. Типа, я могу 6 штук купить, но мне нужно вообще по факту 4. То есть 20 потратить. Ну да, я могу, конечно, потратить здесь еще на оружие, мне как раз хватает. Либо черногорский длинный меч, либо черногорский агат. Вот, то есть, ну, хрен его знает, конечно, чем эти оружия. У меня оружия достаточно на персов. У меня не то, чтобы персов вообще много. Скажем так, базовая атака, это вообще можно еще скрафтить. Как бы, ну, подобные статы. Поэтому трачу 4 штуки. Так. Идем не в Аяку, идем в оружие. Я хочу оружие получить. Желательно легендарное, потому что мне пригодилось бы, конечно, на Аяку ее меч. Охуенный. Да. Так, ну, понятное дело. Янфей из оружейного, понимаю. Класс, четко. Охуенно, конечно, мы въебали примагемы, ничего не скажешь. Пиздец. Это вообще как, блядь? И чё? И как оно, блядь? Не понял. Не понял. Не, конечно. Кстати, мне интересно вообще, что нужно для возвышения Аяки. О, понимаю. Это защитные элементы назумского меча. Повидал немало боев. Гардой умелый фехтовальщик. Или гордой, не знаю. Умелый фехтовальщик способен блокировать клинок противника. Угу. Но буси. Я вообще не буду, что такое на бусе, но думаю, скоро узнаю. Кто знает. Блять. Ну и, конечно, на нее нужно до пизды всего одевать. Озвучу, это потом мы чекнем. Нингуан получила созвездие. И не одно, блядь. Это намек на то, что мне нахуй Альбеда не нужно абсолютно, да, или что? Плюс выпала Ян Фэй, которую я не хотел, не ждал. Вот слово совсем. Вот серьезно. То есть Ян Фэй я ждал меньше всего, блядь. Хотел максимум фиолок, это чё Юни какого-нибудь. Да ладно, пофиг. Так, отряд. Сейчас меняем обратно. На Синьянь. И идем выполнять это задание Инадзумы уже. Берем ГГшку. Сейчас пока не берем. Так. Наверное, нужно опять будет к кораблю к тому, да? Тыпаться. Или нет? Не понял. Понял. Так, хорошо. Инадзума. Жди меня, Инадзума. Я скоро буду. Бля, не очень, конечно, хотелось бы сюда как бы все это присобачить. Вот. Но такова судьба. Таков путь. Ой, блядь, идем заданьку чекать. Сюжетную, новую. Кажется, ты не выполнил это задание, блядь? Да, я его не выполнил, мне поебать. Так, а ну-ка. Господи, с текстурами, блядь.
What can I do for you, traveler? Ah, yes. I've heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage to Inazuma. Is that correct? Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited those lands. Unfortunately, I don't have any current intel that would be worth sharing with you.
Пиздишь.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beidou will be taking to Inazuma, right? The fleet is nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beidou sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beidou is the captain of her word.
Of course! There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
So you'll be heading off then? I suppose congratulations are in order. Whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the depths of the abyss, each step you take is another achievement.
Слишком много обид, не говоришь мне там.
Until we meet again, Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Oh, it's kind of hard to say goodbye now. We practically see each other every day.
Well, if that's how you feel, why not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you on Narukami Island.
Сложно.
So there's another Catherine in Inazuma?
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to Liyue Harbor.
Okay, thanks for coming all this way to let us know.
Just following orders. I'll see you two aboard the Alcor.
Блять, вот проблема в том, что реально вот, ну, может, Катерина это какая-то машина, которая существует в этой игре. Я не знаю, сложно. Непонятно. Так, идем на корабль. А на корабле какие-то хера, поэтому мы лучше телепортируемся. Где? Амогус. Ой, блять, опять. Сука, вот бы телепорт туда поставить на этот корабль, было бы попроще. Ох, хрен. Там вот телепорта нет. Было бы странно, конечно, если бы он там был, да, но типа, камон. Так было проще добираться до туда. Блять, так ведь собрать Кею. Опять. Меньше всего это хочу делать. Брать Кею, скажешь, так у тебя есть это как Аяка. Ну типа да. Кстати, давайте опробуем ее на воде. На такой вот глубине, что типа можно ёбнуться, да? Вот. Но перед этим я перестрахую, скажем так, да, и съем вкусняшку. Как бы, почему бы, собственно говоря, нет. Вот, съем вкусняшку, вот, которая позволит мне передвигаться, не тратя выносливость. Так, поехали. Переотряд, берем маяку. Почему бы и нет. Так.
Kamisato Ayaka, present.
Да-да. Так, Аяка. You ready? Так. Давайте сейчас мы куда-нибудь вот сюда стартанем. Опа. И поехали. Да, можно будет ходить по воде. Ау. Нет, Амогус. Ай, твою-то мать, не хватало еще сейчас утонуть, блять. О, супер. Так, можно убирать теперь. Так.
Let's jam!
Джем, да. Берем ГГ. А, я тут БПшку, кстати, еще не честно, чуть не забыл. Бум. Второй левел нового БП. И тут еще какая-то фигурина. А, ну диалоги. Что такое? Ментальный навык. Серьезно? Еще вели такую хуйню? Вау. Воу. Воу.
Bellowing thunder!
Прикольно? Столько новых фич надзумы, вот это, конечно, охеренно. Я еще до этого чекнул, там, типа, можно выбирать задания Льюэ, типа, тут неплохо. А, надо прочекать персов, понял. Бля, реально, надзумы, конечно, вот это круто. Так, ну говорю, с бойдоу хули делать.
Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already. Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away!
Здорово. Это сейчас будет в виде кат-стены или что, блядь? Да, кастена. А предыдущие стримы можете посмотреть на этом же канале, да. Не так давно был стрим по Shadow of War, можете чекнуть его. Мы там проходили тени военторга, что неплохо, как по мне. Я еще вспомнил, мне бойдов качать надо, сука. Это ж сколько надо ходить, блядь. А, по мобам, я ебал. Пиздец. Грустно. А там еще и надзума. Электроокулы собирай. А, не понял. Я думал, это будет кастена, где мы будем преодолевать шторм. Так нечестно. Это читерство. Это читерство. Так нечестно добираться до Инадзумы. Если все было бы так просто, какого хрена тогда? Не выглядит, конечно, красиво Инадзума, ничего не скажешь. Достаточно сасно. Бля. Пиздата. Да, графен. Мест не топтали, а скорее. Ну, похож на футуриста, в общем.
Oh, hi there.
Ты уж
So,
заметил.
you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
Почему-то он похож на фатуица. Что-то мне вот подскажет, что он фатуица.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive on board after all.
Oh, right. Kazuha.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Fair seas, Captain Beto. Bye-bye.
Кстати, есть ивент, точнее, будет ивент, где можно будет получить
Now
бейдол
then,
бесплатно.
first things first. We need to go get you registered at the border checkpoint.
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if you tried.
Yes.
So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
А, кстати, я ж могу еще спокойно избавиться от электроперсонажей, блять. Ведь у нас есть электро ГГ. Это самая удобная хуйня. Так, ладно, неважно. Буду выполнять это говно. Но, блять, не думаю, что стоит торопиться. Теперь давайте чекнем достижения. Угу. Понимаю. И пока все.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Toma. You must be new here.
Правда?
Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you. Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. My apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are the entry papers for your kind perusal.
What? Ugh, take your time. No.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. Sorry about that.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome.
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Сука.
Sheesh. So it is super strict.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency.
Слишком много персонажей на эту игру, блядь.
Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
Понимаю. Ну мы, по идее, еще должны встретить здесь Катерину, блядь. Чем-то напоминает Льюэ, там где стоит этот... Что называют? Алхимический столик. Да. Это все грустно даже. Да в смысле, мы через любой забор можем перелезть, какого хрена? Даже как-то нечестно. И паркур здесь запрещен.
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency, both of you?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
Кого?
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you serious?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math.
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Нихуя себе скидка, блядь.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle, but...
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will make a record.
Much obliged.
Господи, как все дорого на зуме-то. Пиздец. Что так все дорого?
She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. Processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth.
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by...
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for outlanders trying to survive on Rito. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
Really? Wow! The Rito Fixer's better connected than we thought.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price, you understand?
Блять.
Not you too!
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora.
Сука.
In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to
Сука.
agree to help other people solve some of their
Нет.
problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Выполнять задание жителей.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind.
Похож на этого, блядь. На Тарталью.
Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Caricio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
Блять. Пиздец, кого-то искать надо. Я не хочу никого искать. Мне впадло. Кирису, а вот ты. Черт.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose. Ah, good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from overseas.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Кого?
Oh, of the 3 commissions, that's the one that oversees everything on retail, isn't it?
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and that's not the worst of it. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Кого, блядь?
Crystal Marrow? What's that?
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this Crystal Marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for Crystal Marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock.
Isn't that what they call a monopoly?
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. We've tried communicating with the Commission directly. But this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. What do you think we should do?
That vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no idea where he sources the stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association, and you're new to Rito, if I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district.
Got it! We're on the case!
Блять. Бра. Сука. Они торговцы, легко говорить. Ну, пока будем идти потихонечку, помаленечку по заданиям, может, что объяснить. Серьезно, редиска и пшеница. Вы сейчас серьезно? Нихуя себе.
don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Karisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they? They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
Ну это местный какой-то, он наебывает всех, собака такая. А ты приезжаешь в деревню, покупаешь кумыс, блять, а тебе говорят, а он косарь стоит, а он схуяли, а он вот так вот.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's check back in with him.
Спросите Тома, блять, ну ок, ладно.
That was quick. You were...
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
Oh? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get by, but he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of Outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
Huh. What a bummer.
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.
Нет, я не знаю, я не понял. Сложно, сука. Еще раз с Фернером. Ну давайте поговорим. С Фернером Роше, блядь. Рошешич. Амогус.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you. Huh? Where's this coming from? Mondstadt? You were talking about Mondstadt.
Нет. Не понял!
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar, but I can't remember the last time I was there. The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me back. Oh, my hometown. The home of freedom. How I long to go back and visit.
It's working!
So, trying to play my heartstrings like a liar, are you? Huh? What is this? What are you up to now?
Just close your eyes already!
You mean the sound of the ocean? Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The calls of the merchants. Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right.
This guy has a really active imagination.
Лиюэ.
Да, блядь. Зачем ему отдавать что-то из Я же сам собирал эту собаку. Ладно, дам тебе один курляпис. Ходёшь.
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it. You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? And I suppose they are far from home. Just like often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I like to imagine it's the voice of my hometown. Carried, I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that, but I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them and free myself from this anguish?
Well, no one's stopping you, so...
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied together, committed to finding a way to survive. But I couldn't do it. I'm not strong enough. So I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. And make Mondstadters look like the worst people in the world. Alright, I'll tell you the whole story. It's eating me up inside, and I can't take it anymore.
Да давай, давно пора уже.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them. I can't show my face there.
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, you messed up, but now it's time to make things right. So come on, get it off your chest. What's the deal here?
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. Keijiro and his companions. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain evil gouging them like this.
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to live on. Evidence? You're right. Without conclusive evidence, he will never admit it. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. It's always made me suspicious. As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago. I can show you where he went if you want.
Really? Well, then there's no time to lose. Let's go.
Блять. Ну, пошли найдем. Что-то Кайдзиро. Кайдзю. Никак.
Keijiro! It's him!
After him!
Так. А-оу. А теперь задания по слежке появились? Блять. Вот меньше всего хотел, чтобы это вот появилось в Геншин Инфаркт, блять. Чем-то напоминает Assassin's Creed, вы не находите? И просите следовать за ним по крышам. Блять! Обычные гибанные козырьки. Вы шо, блядь, делаете? Сумасшедшие. Повторюсь, был проще, блядь. Проще было бы по крышам.
Yes, the trade association clique still needs to be brought into line.
Вижу, гаденыш.
What was that sound?
Uh-oh.
Shh! Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
Блять, ебаные горы. Кто придумал на горах козырьки, блять? Кто, бля, какой мудак? Почему я могу пойти по горам, блять, за ним? Почему? Это же очевидно, блять. Как в ассасине. Мудак. А, серьезно? Почему с вот этой функции присесть и вот так ходить нету, блядь, скажем так, в стандартном геншине? Почему только миссии какие-то, блядь, для этого существуют? Тихо, мы оперативники. И все можно.
Now, who else is behind on payments? Let me think. Yes, the Trade Association clique still needs to be brought into line. What was that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
Стелс, нига. Опа.
What could he be doing at a place like this?
It looked like he buried something over there, didn't it? Why don't we take a look?
Куча голды, надеюсь, я хочу забрать ее.
Whoa, it's a ledger. Boring. Paimon thought he'd hidden
Я
a
тоже
big
так
pile
думал.
of Mora here. Yeah.
Let me take a look here. Aha, yes! This is what we're looking for. A clear and complete record of every single transaction, each one proof of his guilt.
Great! Well, now we have our hard evidence. Let's go tell Karisu the good news, shall we?
I'll say goodbye to you here then.
Будь таким сакуни. О, там сундук, кстати, на фоне.
You aren't gonna come with us?
I need a little more time before I'm ready to face the head of the association.
Huh. Poor Werner's a pretty awkward guy, huh?
Это, конечно, хорошо, но сундук. Ладно, помести, пойдем, хрен с ним. Потом, все потом. Стоять. Кстати, а где тут вообще можно получить этот, как его называют? Силу божественную. Где-то вот тут, блядь. Но пока еще как до Китая раком всего. Ну да ладно, потом. Дома пробуем электрохреновинки, электроновиночки, вот это все электрозалупень. Ну, конечно, грустно реально, что не... вот, козырьки везде, блядь. Просто это не дает паркурить нормальным людям. Грустно и невкусно. Да.
But we really don't have anything left. If this keeps up, our sales will come in at a loss. There'll be nothing left for us to do but starve.
You know the decree. The rules are the rules. No discounts, no exceptions, and no excuses. And who are you? Another new member of the association?
It just so happens that we found your little ledger, so now we're here to tell everyone all about how you embezzled crystal marrow to sell it right back to the taxpayers.
Huh? Is this true? You've been swindling us!
Well, you see, the taxes,
А что такое? А что
Let
такое?
me take a look at the ledger.
Конечно. Там, кстати, телепорт видел, надо бы открыть.
Well, would you look at that? So, Mr. Keijiro, it seems you have some explaining to do. How shall we settle this,
So you think you can use this against me, do you? It's quite obvious that I'm merely trying to earn a modest living for myself. Like...
Word has it that samurai in the commission place great importance on reputation and prestige. Though I'm sure commission members won't blame you once word gets out.
Huh? Is that a threat? Are you threatening me?
No, not at all. I'm simply stating that it would be quite a pity if an illustrious gentleman such as yourself were to have their reputation tarnished.
Well,
well, even if what you say is true, what do you suggest we do about it?
I believe you still have a quantity of crystal marrow in your possession, correct? Perhaps that crystal marrow could be used as compensation for the recent tax hike, and us merchants could finally have some more breathing room.
Is that it?
Do you have any idea the hoops I had to jump through to get the crystal marrow and keep it hidden? Fine. In that case, I'll send it over to you today.
And not even an ounce of shame for his actions.
Целый guns of the bullshit.
So that's it? My shop's been closed for weeks now. I've even had to ask my friends to help bail me out. What?
Come on, Harrison. We've already struck a good deal here.
I'm sick of being pushed around like this. I won't let him off so easily.
Harrison!
Hey, what's all this racket? Does someone dare question the decree?
Ah, Chief, you've arrived.
What was all the commotion I heard just now?
Oh, we were just discussing a minor tax issue. I do my utmost to lend them a helping hand, but they're never grateful.
A helping hand? The only thing you're doing is stuffing your greedy pockets with our hard-earned wealth. I assure you that Hirage Shinsuke will hear of this.
Oh, and you dare to utter the commissioner's name. You outlanders have no respect for the rules.
Мне кажется, вы на Зуме все идиоты.
Seize the merchants. We will resolve this dispute back at headquarters.
Uh-oh. This is going in a bad direction.
Gentlemen, come now. Is there any need for this? If there's a dispute to resolve, let's get a drink and talk it over.
Who are you supposed to be? And why in my right mind would I join you for a drink?
You never heard of the Fixer?
Here's my card.
Huh. You're from the Yashiro Commission.
Shh.
Huh. Well, this is Kanjo Commission territory. However powerful the Yashiro Commission may be, you have no business meddling in Rito's affairs.
Of course not. Still, perhaps you could show the young lady...
Кого чё? Это что это тут? Веерояки или что это такое?
For our clan, some courtesy. You wouldn't want your name showing up in a petition to the Shogun, would you?
That fan. The Shirasagi Himegimi.
А, нет.
I don't need any trouble with her. Okay, let's forget all this. It'll give us one less thing to worry about.
But, Chief!
Enough! We're leaving.
Let's get dinner one day soon, gentlemen. My treat, I insist. No response, huh? I suppose that bridge is well and truly burned then.
Мне надо отойти. Ай, блядь. Так, я вернулся.
Thank you so much, Toma. But I'm sorry your relationship with the Kanjo Commission had to suffer for our sake.
Hey, I was joking. It's a small price to pay, and you're more than welcome. If there's anyone you should be thanking, it's the Traveler. She's the one who found a way to turn things around. If nothing else, I'm sure the tax collection Ashigaru will tread a little more carefully in the future. Shh, not here. Too many people listening. Let's move somewhere else.
Конечно, все это весело, как бы, да, но я хочу телепорт открыть. Бум! Четко. А на главной улице ничего, да? Много ушей не будет. Вот.
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. They truly are rotten to the core. All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know? Straight to the point. Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity a secret from us this whole time? So, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another branch of the Tri-Commission?
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'd go into more detail on what exactly that covers, but I'm not even sure myself. I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka. Also
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the reaction of those guys just now.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted too. The people of Inazuma quite adore Miss Kamisato. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an equal, as she would a friend. You're asking the right questions, and to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark any more than is necessary. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island, and I got to know Captain Beto during that time too.
Still pretty good going for just a month's work.
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. But the main thing was, I had to make sure I'd be in time to receive you when you arrived. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats in Mondstadt and Liyue. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great anticipation. She's excited to find out whether the rumors are true. That is, that you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
Change the tide of the times?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree... That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources were misleading. Yes, of course. I completely understand, and as agreed, I shall help set that up for you.
Toma sure didn't put up much of a fight.
Well, my work on Rito is done. So I suppose this is goodbye for now. Oh, one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find me at the Komori Tea House, as per- Good luck with everything. See you soon.
Dick.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh? We should get going. Huh? What's up? Oh, right! Paimon forgot all about that! Wait, so... did Toma forget that too? Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole thing! As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Komori Tea House to settle the score! Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and see how far we get.
Думаю, ничего хорошего. Бум. Бам-бам-бам-бам. Побег с острова Рита. Ну, не думаю, что стоит сбегать, конечно, с острова Рита. Никого не похуй. Попытайтесь. Ок. Ладно. Попытаемся. И тут стража. Ну, вы не знаю, где обойти. Хотя, можно пробовать. Не понял. Город тут как глина. Сейчас, секунду. Алло. Привет, привет. Да у меня пропущенных нет. Ну ты знаешь, связи у нас дома нет. Ты знаешь, что связи у нас дома нет только на балконе, или будет балкон. Ну я так и понял. Нет. Вот только мне мама позвонила на домашний, сказала, чтобы я тебе позвонил. Ну, так я тебе только... Я тебе хотел сейчас набрать, но ты мне позвонил. Ты меня опередил. Да нормально. Не могу. Это как бы проблема скорее тех людей, как бы, то есть, которые являются работодателями. То есть, ну, мы с другом пошли в одно место, вот, где, в принципе, платят оптимально и работа не то чтобы до хрена. Вот. И как бы, ну, нам сказали, что там людей уже как бы много, и нас туда не взяли. Вот. Я позвонил в другое место, где платят тоже достаточно хорошо, свободный график, вот, и как бы, ну, недалеко от дома. То есть вот буквально 2 шагов, даже не буквально, 2 шагов. Вот, но это самое, я вчера набирал вот этого менеджера, который должен мне самое, помочь с графиком, вот, и чтобы дать договор и прочее, прочее. Но пока это самое, сказал, что занят и пока не знаю. Чуть попозже. Потому что людей сейчас работу ищут на лето очень много, работавших в помещении работают. Потому что на улице сейчас нереально. Ну, я не могу, как бы, у меня варианты есть. Ну, есть это самое, я тоже кидал фотку, то, что там ищут. Да, да, я не спорю, что получится. Поработаю, потом, наверное, ближе, наверное, к зиме, к декабрю собираюсь поехать к бабушке, потому что я планировал типа на месяц устроиться, как бы, то есть на июль до августа, а в августе поехать, чтобы вот как раз успеть помочь ей зерном, как я это обычно делаю. Но она сказала, что уже не надо, как бы, то есть ехать, чтобы она, ну, к ней туда, к бабушке, да. Типа она сказала, что не надо ехать, как бы, да, то есть, ну, они там сами справятся. Вот, и поэтому она сказала, приезжай, когда сможешь, ну, ну, пока да. Ну, дед, я закончил только месяц назад, грубо говоря, колледж. Ну, я найду, да. Ну, когда мы ездили с другом в Мегу, вот, мы же пошли в Окей, в Икею. Вот, там же ресторан тут есть, как бы к нам приходили в колледж с Икеи еще зимой, вот, и предлагали, что вот можете к нам пойти работать в американский колледж. Вот, я пошел, как бы, мне сказали, что вот, ну так-то и так-то, как бы, да, это самое, доступна сейчас только, это самое, утренняя смена, вот, и типа зарплата за смену там 1015. Ну, это, как мне кажется, смешно, особенно учитывая то, что в Мегу, типа, нужно будет не свои деньги тратить, чтобы туда ехать, и потом обратно, и больше потратить. Да, а чтобы на нормальную, как бы, на должность, на нормальную зарплату нужен как минимум год стажа работы. То есть, ну это замкнутый круг, что типа, хочешь хорошо устроиться, получить хорошую зарплату по своей специальности, тебе нужен год или более стажа. Чтобы получить, нужно найти работу, как бы, да, чтобы найти работу с хорошей зарплатой, нужно год стажа. Так вот замкнутый круг. Поэтому так. Да, нет, не звонил, если честно. Ну да. начал я сам. В конце концов. Потом как бы ну, сомневаюсь, что лучше невольно смотреть на комбо, не круче, надо делать сейчас. Я не спорю. Ну, мы потом ходили по всему городу, искали, там, чтобы нужны работники, не нужны, спрашивали, но вот что так сказали, что как бы, ну, меня не взяли, потому что, ну, в 2 местах, как бы, которые могли взять, потому что я вообще сказал изначально, что на месяц, потому что потом я собрался к бабушке, потому что я только потом позвонил ей ближе, не знаю, в середине, наверное, июля, вот, что типа, как бы, ну, вот, ну, так-то и так-то, как бы, да, поэтому вряд ли получится приехать у меня. Ну вот, и типа она сказала, как бы ничего страшного, приедешь, типа, ну как приедешь. Ну, это понятно. Я знаю. Я тоже понял. Ну, это понятно. Но благо, кстати, мне вот меньше возиться надо, потому что у меня медкнижка сделана. Вот, потому что это самое, последнее, когда вот папа ездил, я обновлять просто, это было где-то, ну, по-моему, в начале моей практики, так что у меня она еще год как минимум действительно, там всегда. Нет, медкнижка, да. Ну, книжка, короче, с прививками тоже у меня там есть, мне еще в колледже все отдали. Ну, у меня все сделано, где-то, у меня все готово, скажем так. Говорю, у меня все готово, у меня все сделано. Но если попросить прививку от коронавируса, то тут, конечно, сложно сделать. Если честно. Ну, вот я звонил, опять же, вот пару мест, мне сказали, что, ну, точнее, ничего мне за прививку-то не сказали, как бы, что она нужна. Вот. Ну, я думаю, что ближе к сентябрю будут, наверное, рисовать, что типа надо будет. Потому что говорят, что это самое, даже на учебу не будут брать без этого прививки. Ну, сейчас уже в рестораны надо эту прививку делать и QR-код получать, чтобы там посидеть. Ну, я по ресторанам не хожу, поэтому как бы мне это не вредит. В принципе, можно. Просто вот мы с мамой обсуждали этот момент, как бы, да, нам обоим страховое делать. Типа, у каждого разные последствия после прививки. Сейчас я именно на балкон выйду, просто рядом с балконом, кстати. Сейчас. Просто. Ой. Так, я вернулся, извините, пожалуйста, надо было отойти. Так. Думаю, ничего не пропустил.
Stop there. Present your travel permits.
Блять. Вот в Ведьмаке дорожная грамота. И здесь дорожная грамота. Сука.
Sorry, but we really gotta get to Narukami Island. It's kinda urgent.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get. Those are the rules.
As expected. Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito? Are you saying we should go and meet with the Kanjo Commissioner? Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words to say about his subordinates. Who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
Да хуй его знает, все может быть, Paimon. Так, вот это что такое? Так, собрать рассказ, понимаю. Блять, теперь надо будет со страниц собирать по всей Инадзуме. Сука. Точно как видим.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see,
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
Понимаю.
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel. Come on in. Let's see what we can do for you.
Did you get all that?
А, лох! Пидор!
My sincere apologies.
Вот так надо, щенок, блять. Знаю, перед кем кланяться, блять. Уебан. Это дурашляк, да.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan. It's an honor to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come and see you was because...
All right, all in good time. Two travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to see me, and I should very much like to make their acquaintance. Let's not limit this to business only.
Хитрый дед.
So what you're saying is, we really are pretty famous, huh?
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails and put the overlord of the vortex back under the sea, eh?
Так мы не одни были.
Exactly! Paimon thinks you make an excellent point.
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel.
Whoa! You heard about that too? Yep. It's true, all right.
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. Rito is greatly honored to have you visit us. One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people. This makes me wonder
В итоге дело...
whether you might be so kind as to render your assistance to the Kanjo Commission.
В итоге маленькое дело превращается в большую жопу проблем. Меня это не устраивает.
Oh, sure. No problem. Whatever you need, right?
Excellent. Well then. You must know the Qingxian. A flower grows on the mountaintops of Liyue.
Ну да.
We've picked a few of those before. So, you want us to go back to Liyue?
Yes, bring me 300 Qingxian, would
Чего,
you?
блять?
Freshly picked, I mean.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much trouble, is it? Then how about this? We have a few items that need delivered.
That sounds much more
А
like...
вот это уже более реально.
709 letters to be precise.
Hey, what gives?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
Настолько не хватает. 700
What
писем.
sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
Ну, письма это еще реально доставить. По Инадзуме.
That's the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long now.
Сука. Я так и знал, что вы какая-то жопа.
You're seriously considering taking this job?
Ой, 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 одна это самая электрозалупа. А где? А где? Ты, тварь. Слава яйцу у меня есть, пацан. Да что такое? Что ж так все тяжко-то в этой жизни? Так. Блинк. Опа. Да твою мать. Ебаные козырьки, блять, у каждого здания. Заебали. Где? Вот эта хуёвина, колдоёбина, вот мне интересно. Вот сейчас я реально не понял приколов. Вот так вот. Как они выглядят, мне еще интересно, кстати. Даже так. Ох. Incoming! Опа! Ай, куда ты? Куда? Опа! Бум! И плюс статуя сзади, кстати, можно будет активировать. Вот электроспособности! Это хотя бы вид локации. Тут тоже растут обычные ягоды. Я не хочу получать электроспособности сейчас. Спасибо. О, оставили эту функцию с острова. Круто. Можно на корабликах плавать. Половинца статуи давайте. Отдадим одну штучку. Ключ от спальницы глубины над зумой, печать электро. Понятное дело, короче, все стандартно. Ничего нового. И, кстати, можно дерево тут подолбить. Ты снимаешь, что будет нужна сакура в ближайшее время. Плюс по камнеистокам. Полезно. Это клен. Извиняюсь, я идиот. Так. Ну, то, что он попросил нас собрать дефицит цветков, это, конечно, все очень страшно. Страшный дед. Тут есть сундуки, кстати, что-нибудь такое? Я пока, по крайней мере, ничего не нашел. Ладно, будем потом еще здесь искать, бегать. Это, скажем так, само собой разумеется. Очень странный дед.
Halt, you two. Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists that you read it immediately.
Так, письма. Простите, что нежданно-негаданно пишу это письмо. Надеюсь, оно тебя не потревожило. Мне впервые доводилось приглашать чужака с другой стороны письмом. Но, думаю, познакомились мы не случайно. Итак, сегодня на небе будет тонкий серп луны. Я надеюсь, что мы встретимся. По поводу слуг не беспокойся. Найду способ их обойти. Надеюсь, ты придешь. Надеюсь.
So this means she wants you to secretly meet her at night? But you didn't seem surprised at all by this. What's going on? Huh? Have you been up to something behind Paimon's back? Let's ask her tonight and see what she has to say.
Решетка извращения. Меня устраивает. Так, встретитесь с госпожой Хираки. А в каком месте это, собственно, светится? Чё за хуйня? Не понял. Ночное время. Блять, нам светится в этой комиссии или что ли, где она? Права комиссии, конечно, где-то будет жопа. Ладно, неважно, давайте поставим сейчас таймер. Не таймер, точнее, просто время перемотаем. Утилитарная способность, конечно, нам мотать время. Давайте 18:01. Пока добежим заодно. Время пройдет нужное. Походу 6 часов это вообще не ночь, это вечер. Ой, аж туда. Так, ладно, пойдем. Не, красиво здесь, конечно. Мне нравится.
You finally arrived.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hiragi Chisato. This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Не понял.
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments. And at last, we have the chance to meet.
Мадам, это слишком близко. Не находите?
Is it Paimon, or does something seem a bit off here?
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is, well, I feared that I might never have another opportunity to discuss this with you.
Discuss what?
Ahem. I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Like father, like daughter. Couldn't you be more original?
No, you misunderstand me. Please, allow me to explain. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo Kamachi of the Tenryou Commission. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. But my heart is with Kamachi. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Rito, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Narukami Island. It would be regrettable to let such an opportunity pass.
Oh, Paimon gets the whole picture now.
Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Rito. That, to be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting you leave Rito.
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty obvious he was just trying to hold us up here.
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman just a few days ago. They seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the shogun. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. It just so happens that a shipment of goods is... Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border. I'm counting on you to deliver my letter.
Вы спросите, наверное, тех, кому не поебать, почему у меня ГГшка ходит с этим, блядь, с аниме-стихией? Ну, как бы вам сказать и намекнуть. Потому что так надо. В том плане, что мне в душу впал город свободы, вот, и я хотел бы сохранить его стихию на ГГ.
Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must be certain that they reach Watatsumi Island intact.
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety, and has ordered that myself and an additional qualified escort be dispatched to ensure safe transport of the goods.
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you? There's...
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be duly dispensed if it fails to do so.
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? I'm sure you are all quite familiar with my father's temperament. Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety on your...
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk. They don't stand a chance.
Нихуя себе.
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompanying us. Your safety is our highest priority.
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself. It is our duty to serve her in the utmost capacity.
Yes, but that's not the problem here.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once. Dawdling will only allow potential thieves more time to prepare, no?
Yes, my lady. You heard her. There's no time to lose.
Серьезно? Вот вы сейчас угораете? Какого хуя? Это вот типичная миссия на сопровождение? То, что я ненавижу в принципе. Пиздец. И что тут будет за воры, интересно? А ну-ка. Ага, даже так. Ну иди сюда, секунду, блять. А эта музыка, я думаю, нравится больше, прям боевая такая. А не трогать товар, сучонок. Пошли вон. Это кристаллы новые. Хочешь, план потом добудем. Опа! Пошли вон отсюда.
Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiraki at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with Chisato.
Опа! Так вот. Здесь ты пиздился. И новые враги, кстати. Без мега самурая. Тихо. Просто ставить надо. Очень измененная музыка из Манчестера, я вот слышу, как бы, да, по нотам. Более-менее. Я, конечно, не мега охуенный, кто ебаный рот. Опа! Потом сейчас тут ресурсы. Ага. Отсоси. Просто я еще не знаю противников, надо их изучить. А, пошел нахуй. Тоже делить. Блять, по времени немного осталось. Нужно туда спроводить его. А. Не понял.
We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just over there. In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission. Consider it a token of my appreciation.
My lady?
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but Shinojo, you...
No, Lady Hiragi would never hide anything from us, I'm sure of it. But who is this Kamaji you...
I'm not afraid to say that he's the one I love.
The one you love?
Shinojo, did you honestly think that...
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all. I would never in my wildest dreams,
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my lady.
But what will happen if your actions here are discovered, Chisato?
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food or something to that effect.
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like him could have a soft side.
I wish you a safe journey. I'm sure we will meet again.
Bye, Chisato!
Come now. Quit your staring and let's get moving. We've got goods to shift.
All right.
Ты серьезно? Эх, дурак, набит. Что? Понеси печать электро, что-то там, да, кому не поебать на меня. Так, оп.
We're finally on our own way again. I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House!
А каким образом эта херня активировалась здесь? Кому не насрать? Так, кстати, ой, электрохреновинка тут, кстати, образовалась. Давайте-ка мы ее соберем. И да, как предполагалось, что морские растения как бы перенесутся сюда. Куча квестов открылась для нас, скажем так, но, блядь, за все ежедневочки, я не знаю, браться мне или нет. Сложно. Сложно. Я вот не знаю, скажем так, как быть, потому что, ну, реально тут куча, там гигантская куча, скажем, видимо, фатуисты новые, да, как я понимаю. Понять сундучитос. Ладно, пока прогуляемся, изучим территорию и потом будем начать врагов. Это будет уже следующий этап нашего прибытия. Еще одна электрохреновинка и прямо на самой вершине. И еще одна где-то блять, вот это, конечно, грустно все. Что типа тут их много, так. Телепорт. А каким образом хотите, чтобы я туда добрался? Я, конечно, догадываюсь, типа через электропопрягушки, блять, но тем не менее. Надо еще разобраться наверх. Или походу можно будет просто выцепиться, да. Ебой. И еще одна где-то должна быть. Да, блять. Просто можно сразу собрать, которые по пути. Блять. Только вот не вижу, где вот это вот. Что там вообще за дерево, кстати? Тоже не ясно. А это где? Я, конечно, идиот, но я не понимаю. А что это такое вообще? Ай, блядь. Что-то не ясно, очевидно. Так, где еще одна, кстати, вот эта вот электроокула? Что тут за барьеры, блядь? Что это за хуйня? Кто мне объяснит? Ладно, насрать. Боры. Потом. Что ты такое? И куда его? Смогу пройти типа через эту хуйню? Просто на барьер. Электрофея. Господи. Выглядит на прикольно. Угу. То есть даже так. От сука. Ай, блядь. Ай, блядь. Ай, блядь. Ай, блядь. Ай, блядь. Больно. Не понимать все эти механики. Пока что. Вот пока что, ключевое слово. Богатый сундук, а вот здесь тут попотеть. Шо тут такое? Нет, для тебя это хуёво, возможно, друзья. Я очень хуёво, возможно, скажу тебе. Да. Так, что у вас, господа? Старая... О, кстати. Так, книжки, электро... Понимаю. Так, кстати, вот фигулина. Цинка. Всему голова. Но не я. Так. Да, твою мать. Серьезно. Как бы мне телепортироваться наверх прямо на нее. Может, если я так встану, это вот тут на институте. Ебой. Охеренно. Меня напрягают эти электрофеечки, блядь, я вообще... это не электрофеечки, это бабочки. Оп, понял. Пиздец. Ёб твою мать. Бля, вот больше всего я боялся появления человека с хреновым. Ладно, не важно. Мы же аутлендеры. Ну, все можно. Ничего нельзя. Так, идем открывать следующий телепорт. Благо по пути опять же. Задание тут до жопы, конечно. Что это такое? О! Неплохо. Ну что это за частица, мне интересно. Сложно. Ладно, неважно. Сейчас будем открывать телепорты, прочее. То есть сейчас просто пробежка по Инадзуме, дабы изучить местность, территорию и прочее. И город. Так, кстати, вот, чуть не забыл. Кузнец. Что, появились новые инадзумские рецепты, кстати? Видимо, нет. Грустно. Ладно, неважно. Много же этих доп. Заданий. Вот. Я еще с теми не разобрался, которые у меня в журнале сейчас есть. Плюс еще у меня остались куча, которые по миру валяются. Так что мне сейчас не до них. Я в инадзуме, кстати, может быть, буду редко заседать, потому что, опять же, у меня куча еще заданий не выполнено, которые были Манштадт и прочее. О них просто хуй забил. Неприлично большой. Вот, и все. Еще телепорт. Екатерина, кстати, тут есть. Екатерина, здорово, сучка. Ну и все, спасибо. Идем отдавать письмо. Сколько нет телепорта в ту точку, где находится тот черт, поэтому выкручиваться. По пути, если будут какие-то телепорты, опять же, буду их открывать. Почему нет? Кстати, книжечка. Я вообще не знаю, что вообще нового в книжечке происходит. Сейчас, достижение. Поручение. Понял. Так, случайный надзумы, да, все понял. Еще один телепорт. Я же говорю, по пути буду открывать. Потихонечку, помаленечку, но телепорт сейчас откроем. Мне потребовались месяцы, чтобы открыть телепорты в этом Лиуэ и Манштадте. Я не думаю, что фигня будет исключением. Тут красиво, кстати, правда. То есть мне хотелось бы также построить свой дом в чайнике, но, к сожалению, это не предоставляется возможность, потому что я криворукий хуйлопан, который не умеет строить слово совсем. Так, мне куда-то туда надо вообще. Угу. Даже так. Ладно, не важно. Так, я что-то вот сомневаться начинаю, что цель находится в этой области. Ладно, сейчас сделаем проще. Камень и кацин. Специально решить любой вопрос перемещения. Где-то тут находится, в общем. А, тихо. Да. Ох. Пойдем с ним пиздеть. Ну это вообще, кстати, вот обычное задание, типа, не сюжетное. Не должен быть там. Блять. Ок, давай. Неплохой вариант с грамотой меня устраивает. Это нас Юмемиру. Сука. Что так тяжко-то? Блин, тут куча всего на самом деле. Вот реально. Инадзума очень большая, гигантская, огромная, блядь. По-моему, больше, чем Лиуэ, наверное. И Манштаб. А теперь мы идем в текстуре. Грамоту мне давай. А, о, спасибо. Так, ну давай, иди к своим общественным делам, черт. Выполним, так уж и быть, эту миссию, эту просьбу. Ой-ой-ой, 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 ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой, это что? Блядь! Да за что вы так не любите это собаки, а? Вот свинот, а, ненавижу. Ненавижу, ненавижу эти задания. Это слишком сложно. Какой-то, блядь. Так, ну пошли там. Здесь не придется стелсы проходить, что ли, говно. Хотя меня уже никто не остановит, потому что, блядь, типа, камон. Понимаете, в чем прикол, кстати? Вот, как вам объяснить? Вот Лиюэ и Манштадт отличаются своей простотой, потому что, по факту, получив грамоту от Фавониус, ну, как грамоту, короче, титул почетного рыцаря Ордов Авониус, плюс мы не знали до этого, когда прибыли в Манштадт, что, типа, нужна какая-то, блядь, летная, это самая, грамота, блядь, чтобы летать в пределах Манштадта. Вот, типа, и мы получали эту грамоту вместе с Эмбер. Вот, потом, блядь, чтобы в Льве нужно что-то было делать, там просто, ну, пришли такие все охуенные и пиздатые, блядь, и нам все можно, то и Инадзума, конечно, сложнее в этом вопросе. Не знаю, не сказал бы, что продвинуть, скорее просто сложнее. Да невозможно, так и есть. Не по сюжету бы пройти, конечно. Бум. Так, задания сюжетные, чё, где брать? Вот, 3 желания. Направить их к чайному дому Коморе. Да. Вот она, сюжетка, блядь. Ай, собака. Мне вот эти задания, конечно, надо еще выполнить. Но это потом успеется. Можно потом еще по-тупому произойти, как бы, да, произвести все это говно и гайды чекнуть. Да. Так, посмотрим, что мы имеем, кстати. Озвучку мы имеем. Новые реплики какие-то появились, да? Да.
Those Oni Kabuto bugs look so scary! The patterns on their backs are terrifying!
Do you mean those demonic patterns? It's because they don't like to fight. So they purposefully evolve their patterns in a way that scares their enemies away.
That's really smart! We should try to learn a thing or two from them. We could borrow Xiao's mask. If a hilly trail saw you wearing it, do you think they'd run in fear?
I don't think Xiao would agree to that.
Yeah. How about we ask Sayu to steal his mask for us? She knows ninjutsu that allows her to vanish into thin air. She can steal it for sure. Problem solved. If we are afraid of Xiao evening the score with us, how about we steal Child's mask? We've kicked his butt many times before.
I don't think stealing other people's belongings is a good idea. Also, what if Sayu doesn't agree to all this?
Then let's visit Albedo first. If Albedo can develop a growth serum for Sayu, she'll help us for sure.
Brilliant. Now we just need you to come up with a way to make Albedo help us.
Paimon's head is going to explode. Let's stick to festival masks for now. Lavender melons sure are useful. Their flesh can be eaten, and their skin can be processed to make dyes.
Paimon sure is useful. She can serve as my guide, and she can also give other people ugly nicknames.
Yep, thank you for your validation. Wait a minute. Is there more? Is Paimon about to get roasted? Paimon's gonna cover your mouth to stop you from talking. Have you noticed? In Inazuma, people who wear swords on their waists are a minority. Most soldiers use spears. Could it be that swords are a symbol of status? Should we wear them as well? But the swords here are all too big for Paimon. There's no other way. We'll have to find a famous swordsmith to make a custom one.
A custom-made sword will cost a lot of Mora, though.
Are you saying that Mora is more important than the desires of your lovely companion?
Actually, I've already prepared something for you, Paimon.
Really? Really? Let's have a look! Hey! Isn't that the knife we used to cut fruit?
Well, at least it's the right size for you. What matters isn't the value of the sword. It's the fighting spirit.
Nice try, but Paimon won't fall for this, no matter how cool it sounds. Did you know there are hot springs in Inazuma?
But there are no volcanoes.
Paimon heard that the heat comes from a giant furnace. If we get the chance, Paimon also wants to check out a hot spring. Unfortunately, it seems like only the big shots are granted entry.
Let's head back to the Dadaupa Gorge in Mondstadt.
Huh? Why so sudden?
Back in the Dadaupa Gorge, the hilly churls have a huge cauldron that's heated by flaming flowers. It should be similar to a hot spring, right? You can bathe in their... soup, I guess.
In Inazuma, it's customary for parents to choose a lucky name for their child.
Those names symbolize everyone's expectations and wishes for the child, like prosperity, wealth, good health, and safety.
Because of these expectations, parents often pick extra long names and cram all sorts of blessings into them.
So, hypothetically, if one day a little girl fell into a lake on her way back home, then her friends might rush to her house to tell everyone,
"Something bad happened!" Oh, what happened?
Oswaldo Hrafnavines, Prinzessin de Verurteilung, Fischl von Lufschloss Narfadort, come quick! Centennial genius astrologist Mona Magistus has fallen into the water!
Mona falling into the water doesn't sound like an emergency situation, though.
Precisely. The fast-swimming Mona would come back home around the same time her friends are done saying her name.
Inazuma's scenery is quite different than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Inazuma's an island nation.
Before the invention of boats, how did the people living on different islands communicate with one another?
According to Yoimiya's dad, they probably used smoke signals to transmit information. Or they would...
Yeah?
They would commission people who could freeze the water surface to travel between the islands and deliver messages.
Whoa! If Kaya had lived in Inazuma back then, he would have been even busier than Master Jean now!
In Hanamizaka, there's a place called the Bantan Sango Detective Agency.
Paimon remembers! It's the one run by Sango and Ryuji, right? Everyone speaks highly of them.
I heard that they frequently get caught up in strange incidents, and some places have banned them from entering their premises.
Paimon thinks that's undeserved. After all, Sango and Ryuji have helped a lot of people.
Would you invite them if you were organizing a dinner party? What if halfway through the meal, one of the guests suddenly shrieked and collapsed onto the ground?
If that's the case, then Paimon thinks it's a bad idea. Paimon suddenly feels that hanging out with them could be dangerous.
Well, that's the price you pay for being a famous detective.
Так, ух, блядь, затянул что-то я с пиздежом. Было время, когда озвучки вообще в Геншине не было, конечно. Надо, кстати, сюжет пройти по максимуму. Сколько времени сейчас? Понимаю, 2 часа. Ладно, неважно. Блять, ну туда мы еще добраться не можем, как мне кажется, телепортами, поэтому будем пешкадрами. Так. Все не понимаю, что это за барьеры, конечно. Странно все это. Может, здесь задание здесь в Иназуме? Ну просто пусть будет, потом буду выполнять. Блять. Господи, как все тяжко-то. Нет, не буду пока задание выполнять, пока меня хуй забью. Пойдемте пешком по Инадзуме, потому что... Ну, почему бы, собственно говоря, и нет. Это полезно. О, лисы, это охуенно. Бля, пиздата. Потом с ними разберемся. Хотя... Сука, так и, блять, руки чешутся, чтобы их отпиздить. Ну говори. Подходите. Бум. Четко. Да как монетки у этих самых пидоров. Что это такое? L1 плюс это меня. Громовая сфера. Это странное образование, известное как громовая сфера. Она часто встречается в Инадзуме. Персонажи, обладающие силой электро и находящиеся под покровительством Инадзумы, могут использовать ее для молниеносного перемещения. Персонажи, имеющие электрограну или находящиеся под действием электро, находятся рядом с громовой сферой, могут перемещаться к ней с огромной скоростью. Круто? Воу. Ништячно. Ладно. Теперь хоть знаем, для чего это фигня нужна. До сих пор не пойму, где это электрохреновина. Ну ладно. Тут зажили подряд, кстати. Так, что ты такое? Видно себе это дерьмо. Стрелковая дыня. Берем, полезно. Так, тут как добраться до сюда вообще? И каким образом мне собрать? Может где-то тут есть пещера? Вот увижу сундук. Это наши старые знакомые, я понимаю, да?
Don't blink!
I can't have a little taste. The wrong test. You're open.
Да. Вот что,
Wingblade! Incoming!
Неплохо, конечно, но маловато. Я не понимаю, все равно, где тут эта херня? А, так и знал. Еще сундук. Все надзумское. Так, как мне, конечно, тут забраться вот сюда? Вот большой вопрос. Короче, сделаем мир проще, скажем так. Оставим здесь отметину. Важное место. И все. Мы детективы. Все ищем, все знаем и все помним. Помним, любим, скорбим. Так, блядь, вот кстати, вижу еще сундучитос. И он под охраной сидит человек. Вот, все горит. А, кстати, теперь я буду копить на Юмию, вот эту короче, ну тут. Короче, на новую электролучницу, которая должна, по идее, выйти следующим баннером, если я ничего не путаю. Это будет круто, мне кажется. Опять же, потом займусь этими заданиями. Сейчас у меня желание их выполнять, если честно. Ну их много, я вижу, тут все неожиданные, блядь. Поэтому, пожалуй, реально займусь этими заданиями, когда будет времени до жопы. Так, стоять. А, так. Мне казалось, что это буду. О, сундук с картами. Юмемиру. Юмемиру. Пизду. Сложно что-то.
According to the letter...
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're the general public?
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so... what Paimon means to say is...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it.
Не зазнавайся. Войдите в чайный дом, понимаю. Стоять!
Я чая хотел. Чая. Чая хочу, сука. Чая хочу.
А, сука, мудаки. Хочу чая. Чая хочу.
Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Словакия.
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
Чего? Кого?
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Нет.
Ah, now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright. I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. Though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same, but when the lightning struck... So you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Так, это уже любопытно. Ну, говнюк заинтересовал меня. А можно купить гав? Понимаю, понимаешь меня? Гав? Пахнет как я. Гав. Что, блядь, ты несешь, гнида. Ладно, неважно. Неважно. А это странная фраза, типа созвездие. Куда бы вы ни шли, какие бы трудности вам в жизни не подкладывал, помните, что для вас всегда будет место среди звезд. Ночного неба сводит Иевата. Это очень странная фраза. Напрягающе звучит. Так, опа, ох, ёбаный рот. Пиздец. Охуеть. Я, конечно, слышал про статую в Надзуме, что типа там 1000 глаз, как бы, да, вся хуйня, но не думал, что все настолько плохо. Ох, твою мать. Кринге, пацаны, кринге. Охуеть. Только не вижу, что надо было место для 1000 глаз бога, конечно. Свиньи наебали.
This area's gloomy. People probably don't come here often. Dude, huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt degree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the City of Freedom, and as for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then what?
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying.
Не понял. Вы тут что, доходят теоретики, блядь, что ли?
Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
Это странно, конечно. Так. Ну идем. Ух ты, ёб твою мать. Ну идемте, хули делать. Пробежимся 600 метров. Здесь понятно, что можно купить. Очень ничего нового. Вау. Не, правда красиво, мне нравится его надзор. Я считал Манштадт типа вершиной архитектурного правления, скажем так. Это круто. Так, что это такое? Что-то непонятное явно. Ладно, не важно. Какой-то монумент. Или что-то в этом роде. Ладно, сейчас заберемся. Можно сесть на все камни? Нет? Нельзя. Ну ладно. Так, понимаю. Куча всего, конечно. Куча всего. Что это такое, кстати, вообще? Ладно, хрен с ним, потом изучим. Если стоять, вот телепортировать бы не помешало, мне кажется. Так, а вот ты даешь? Ну, вроде как могу. Усыпальница, кстати. Мы случайно ключика не имеем, кстати, на усыпальницу вообще. Блять, только до нее до хер доберешься вообще до этой усыпальницы. Так, перечур, несмотря на практика. Усыпальница. Вот это любопытный уже, кстати. Так. Надо собрать хотя бы 10 штучек гиоку, ну уж гиоку, электроокол, извиняюсь, вот, и потом уже все будет четко. Куча всего, конечно. Так. Да, ну ключа пока нет. Здесь ставим метку сейчас на карте. Не ставим метку. Супер. Не, круто, конечно, опять же. Но на изучение Иназумы надо время, очень много времени, как мне кажется. Вышел Иназума и в Африке Иназума, конечно, блять. Но, тем не менее. Странное место. Блять, сундуков тоже до жопы. Опа, опять электро хуёвина. Старые друзья стоят. Вот сучка. Да мы съебались. Вижу. Блядь. Сучка. Иди нахер. Твою мать. Ничего. Ай, блядь. Ну! Спасибо. Еще один товарищ. Просто опять же, если сундуки по пути, то можно, в принципе, их собрать. Так, здесь каким ветром? Ага. Опа. Хорошо, что у меня есть кухня в коллекции. Это очень полезный персонаж. Хочу заметить. Пусть, конечно, порвут въебать, но тем не менее. Впереди еще есть, блять, телепорт. Ок, ладно. Так, это, видимо, будет полезная локация. И это здесь еще рядом, блядь, наверное, опять на крыше. Я вас манал. Господа. На крыше опять, наверное, да? ВТФ. И где, собственно? Внизу, что ли, блядь? Ладно, хрен с ним, потом еще соберем. Сейчас мы это самое, зданьки выполнять. Так, пидоры, повысите меня. Я важный гость. Да, они не задерживают, собственно. Не сомневаюсь, что весь сюжет пройду так быстро.
The place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep going on about? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
Бля, вот оба варианта обидные, конечно.
Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Я вас ненавижу. А зачем это никого и нет? Так, возьмем книжечек побольше, потому что читать мы любим в Геншине, наверное, или не любим, как кто знает. Так, можете странички какие-то найду, плюс-минус. Нам вот показывали на эту комнату, но тут ни херашеньки нет, кроме того кимоно. Так, здесь будем рассматривать репутацию в гей-щит инфаркте в этом месте. Ой, блядь. Я уже забыл, как проходить сюжетки, что-то очень долго в Геншине. Блять. Ладно, неважно. Где хуйня это? Объясните мне, я всю крышу облазил, блядь. Что за наебка? Ау. Бранч. Может это внизу, типа, именно под этой хуйней. Ладно, пока по сюжету. Пока что не отвлекаемся на побочные квесты. Нам есть нравится. А, кстати, Надзума. Моя эта самая ситуация. Что там с Надзумой вообще? Где оно? А, во, вижу. Да-да-да, да-да-да. Вот твою мать, а? Ну ладно, вижу. Так. Или надо к доске обратиться. Вообще нет. Ну да ладно. Так, хорошо, идем дальше. Просто тут недостаточно охуенен, видимо, на зуме, поэтому не вариант. Там еще алхимический столик, кстати, был. Тоже полезно. Ой, блядь. Просто для меня это все рутинно, если честно. Ну да и все. Поэтому я возмущен. Как бы ясен красен, что сюжетку за один день никто не проходит, как бы, да? Хотя есть спидранеры, скажем так, которые это все делают. Мне такое неинтересно. Давно что ли где-то там, да? Не понял. А где оно? А шо, как это? А, ладно, не важно. Шо такое? Обычно сундучитас. Опять закрытая решетка. Да ёб твою мать, когда она все откроется? Скажите мне, пожалуйста. Активировать. Да-да, дальше. Блять, заебали вы меня, сука! Я не могу разморозиться никак! Говна кусок, говна поет. Вообще все таки прикрываются нахер просто. Сука. Заебёт, прям
Prepare to be
заебёт.
blown away.
Вот сам замораживаешься.
Incoming.
Сука, говно тупое.
Don't blink.
Потом затеряемся.
Feel the beat.
Ух, блядь, так умно.
Incoming.
Пошел нахуй, блядь, сука. Мудак, нахуй. Да, так, что это такое? А, ничего не знаю. Блять, ну понятно, что там закрыто и нихера не откроется. Искать специальные ключи, либо как-то их получить. Я не знаю вообще, как их получать, эти ключи. Пока вот вообще в душе не было. Ладно, сегодня надо захилиться. Может, эти ключи можно как-то выковать или что, я не знаю. Сложно. Еще сунут по пути.
It's my lucky day.
Nowhere to hide.
Light blade.
Amp it up.
Light blade. You know a thing or two.
Wind blade. Speed of light.
To the fairy. Light blade.
Incoming.
Finally, no.
О, книжка. Чёрка. И сундучок.
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Let's dance. Ah, you must also be. Teijima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Teijima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, And then, out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. One day, I'll be as great as Ryu. You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside me will be there either way.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so.
Oh, yes, yes you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little. So today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine. So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Here we are! This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must...
Если мы останемся в этой войне, подожди меня в деревне Конда. Там будет для нас безопасно. Там будет для нас безопасный дом.
So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and...
Так.
I'll protect us.
Кодзима, возьми все, создай гениальную игру.
That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think... maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness, the feeling that something is missing. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? What? According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work.
Well, that's strange. You were helping him.
To be perfectly honest, all I know is that I will perform certain things every month. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. He seemed... But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what... We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Так, ну пойдемте. А извините, что молчу так долго, просто диалогов тут до жопы, и тут за всеми не уследишь, скажем так. Поэтому сорян. О, здорово, суки. Надо пить их можно сразу. Ну ладно.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit...
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down... You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson!
Что ж, погнали.
Don't blink! Let the show begin.
You're open.
Speed of light. Power core.
The wrong test subject.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside?
Food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so... But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal?
You've got a deal. Now...
Huh? What the...
There's nothing in here but IOU!
Yeah. A lot of... And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. A Miss Aoi. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom. As for you guys, you're free to go.
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just...
Да, валите. Так. Господи, а шо за беготня, блядь, по всей Надзуме, походу, будем бегать. Кстати, лисичек трогать не буду, потому что они слишком спокойные, скажем так, и нас не боятся вообще абсолютно. Чувствовать своим носом, что все в порядке. И можно не переживать.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go...
But we didn't buy anything!
Information is all... Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. But let's go talk to Kurosawa again. And...
Вот сучка.
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions. But...
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow... This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. And said to me, with this sword, you should...
Hey! If you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Так, следующий несчастный мы где? Что-то они как-то близ друг друга находятся, они еще типа такие, бля, ну вы потеряли глаза Бога. Давайте обнимемся. Хуй его, тоже.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but... Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him.
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No, you got it so wrong. We just came here to,
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Make-Yo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came, but then we got here and overheard you talking.
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave.
Ok.
Sensei's name is Budu, a name I'm sure you've already heard.
Конечно знаю.
Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako.
Почему
Sensei is going to be just fine.
Вы на Дзуме такие тупые?
The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, losing your vision can cause possession.
Они просто идиоты, конченые. Сука, я их ненавижу, блядь. Почему вы такие дауны?
So you decided to come. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, when she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ear, all the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others, one of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Дед убежал.
Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with... Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going? Is this definitely the right place?
Domon's... Unless... I guess it...
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know...
His senior?
Anzai. Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with... When we were young, we trained under the same sword mat. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a... Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title... I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had... He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought...
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would... Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the... Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get...
Seems like we got it wrong this time. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
Ладно, шизофреник, живи. Так что жить. Так, ты что завафил?
What? You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. And all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yae has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yae? Is that the same Lady Yae that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover!
Correct. Lady Yae is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yae can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yae does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yae herself would have taken notice of...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yae's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yae, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
Sure! After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Ai. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from...
Каким макаром, блять? Это шо такое, пиздец? Это шо, мне на гору разбираться надо? Я ебал, а? Это... Ну как так? Мне так плохо. Реально, это нужно прям так гору разбираться жестко, блять. Ёбаный рот, как будто Манштадт собираюсь. Пиздец. Пиздёж. Так, секунду. Это, конечно, весело, 500 метров, как бы, да, все дела. Но можно вроде телепортироваться, если я не ошибаюсь. Или не можем. Хотя можем, наверное, телепортироваться. Или проще. Ой, блять, я уже пить хочу. Ой, блять. Ой, дождь сэндвич варят. О, господи. Ладно. Так. Окей. Так, а ты что за нахер? Не понятно. Ладно. Так. L1 плюс... Понял. 1 плюс... О! А это круто! Обалденно. Вот так это берем сейчас, судя по всему. Охренеть! Ништячно! Мне нравится. Способ перемещения достаточно удобен. Закпот. Так, ладно, хрен с ним. Потом его убьем. Вай, балдеж. Так, теперь снова, видимо, да? Да что ты делаешь? Так, свою ниточки. Самого верха. Так, твою мать. Ладно. Немножко традиционного способа тоже не повредит. Там, видимо, поток. Он должен был меня отнести туда, вверх. На самую вершину. Но это еще успеется. Ой, блин, ну это, конечно, жопа. Это будет, конечно, сбираться очень долго. Это же реально круто. Так перемещаться намного удобней. Так. Надо быть аккуратным. Вижу. Опа, на следующую цель. Так. Здорово, сучонок. А твою ж мать. Ладно. Так. Какого хрена? Четко. Вороны. Далеко. Далеко. Надо смотреть. Ой, блядь, нога затекла. Неудобно. О, телепорт. Значит, пойти. Люди торгуют. Прокат за 1000. Так.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junior was so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past,
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean?
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Ai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the swordmaster is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Anzai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Anzai? What? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Anzai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness.
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his way, his disciples can take it over on his behalf.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Ai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
Так, стоять, припарковались. Опять где-то наверху, да? Эта хуйня. Ну, сейчас достанет, что делать. Да, так я думал. А, сука. Да ты что ты делаешь? Куда? Кого? Чего? Твою мать, а? Что с тобой не так? Спасибо. Хенкли. Так, не важно. Да твою, зацепись же ты, тупая пизда. Да, это твою мать. Идем сейчас вниз, на днище. Испытания рядом. Какие-то маленькие загрузки, блять, электричества.
Guess who fulfilled all your wishes?
Костина.
Ayaka!
Ну, мне выпало еще один.
Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah, short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori tea house?
Опять возвращаться. Ну зачем? Зачем? Даже так? Тогда ладно.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is a land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree.
Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, Do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it?
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would... By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your... When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family.
Господи, как же тяжко проходить сюжетку Геншина. Бля, бранш. Как же тяжело. Ай, ладно. Сложно. Чё-то. Как-то. Так, я тут смотрю, тут мне дизлайк поставил. Вы чё, поохуевали совсем, что ли, собаки? Не вижу, блядь, сука. Так, я тут задание выполнил. Не хочу выполнять его. Сложно. Тяжело. Тяжко. Еще за пизду телепортироваться. Большого желания нет, конечно. Ладно, основной посыл вы поняли. Я открыл несколько, скажем так, молитв. Убил Аяку. Не то чтобы хотел себе Аяку, но как бы тем не менее я получил то, что не особо хотел. Как бы это все сложно, потому что тут как бы не прогадаешь, что типа хочешь или не хочешь. Рано или поздно получаешь. В конце хочу сказать, что могу пожелать вам всем удачи, выпадения Аяки или кого вы там хотите, нужного оружия и прочего. Я с вами прощаюсь. До следующих стримов или роликов, как повезет. Так что такие вот пироги, собственно говоря. Да. Ей, гей, нига.